Hello and welcome. My name is Dale Bunce and I'm with RGF Environmental Group in West Palm Beach, Florida. Today we're going to speak with Dr. James Marsden of Kansas State University as it pertains to indoor air quality, what it's comprised of, and what you can do about it. Jim, welcome aboard the Envision.
Thank you, Dale. There's three components of indoor air quality that consumers need to be aware of. The first is particulates, particles that float in the air. These include allergens, sometimes pet hairs, dust mites, those types of things. The second are harmful microorganisms, including bacteria, viruses, mold spores. These are things that can cause respiratory illness, flu, colds, respiratory diseases. The third are odors, which could include pet odors or cooking odors or things that are just disagreeable. Sometimes odors can be harmful, but in terms of the real harm to consumers, the real risk to consumers, it's primarily microbiological hazards. VOCs, it's an acronym for volatile organic compounds, and sometimes organic compounds can just be a nuisance if it's something that doesn't smell good or just something that you don't want in your home because of odors. However, some VOCs can be carcinogens, can actually be cancer-causing agents. So it's a good idea to have clean, fresh air, to not have VOCs or harmful microorganisms floating around in the air. This technology is really one of the few in my whole career that I've had the opportunity to evaluate that virtually always exceeds my expectations. Every challenge that we've thrown at this technology, it's met exceeding any expectations that we had going in. So whether it's inactivating harmful microbes or reducing or eliminating odors, whatever the challenge has been, it's exceeded our expectations. We coordinated a study with the Midwest Research Institute looking at a surrogate for norovirus. This is the virus that causes the illness on cruise ships that's been so much in the news recently. And we looked at this technology for controlling that virus, and honestly, I expected it to have some effect, a reduction. What we saw was, however, that in just 30 minutes of exposure to this technology, we virtually eliminated norovirus in an inoculation chamber. So again, it exceeded our expectations a great deal, actually. Viruses it's almost not so much a matter of how difficult they are to inactivate. Many bacterial spores and things like that are actually harder to inactivate. But it's very difficult to document the inactivation of viruses. So it was more a matter of experimental design and how that's done. But as far as I know, this is the only technology of its type that's ever been validated for this particular virus. In the home, you're dealing with viruses, you're dealing with mold spores, you're dealing with bacteria. And in all cases, this technology has been effective in every evaluation that we've been involved with. So homeowners, as they look at the microbiological hazards that might be in their environment, can take comfort to know that this technology would really be effective for everything that's there. Bird flu, scientists refer to bird flu as avian influenza or the H5N1 virus. The reason there's so much concern about this particular virus is because every once in a while, every few decades, we have a virus that jumps from the animal population into the human population. And we're seeing signs of this with avian influenza. There's been a number of human cases, deaths associated with this virus. It's highly virulent. In some of the small outbreaks that have occurred in Asia, we've had virtually 100% mortality. So it's got public health experts very concerned about the potential for what you referred to as a pandemic. The last time we experienced a pandemic was in 1918 with another influenza, the Spanish influenza, and about 50 million people around the world died just in a very short period of time, just within a few weeks, because of the extreme virulence associated with this virus. So avian influenza appears to have similar characteristics, and it's got, as I said, public health officials all over the world very concerned. Kansas State University is building a biosecurity research institute that has the capability of conducting studies to evaluate exotic diseases like avian influenza. We already have a small bio level 3 laboratory where tests are underway. We've been granted permission to look at a non-pathogen or low pathogen strain of this avian influenza, so we're already conducting some studies for the Department of Homeland Security. I have a PhD student who's working with the U.S. Department of Agriculture at Plum Island right now, working out procedures on how we're going to do this work. So in the future, in the near future, we're going to have, I think, quite a bit of research going on in this area. Hopefully we'll be able to look at the RGF technologies as a possible solution to this problem as we conduct that research.